Everybody, thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Tamara Temu Collective, where dreams have no filter. On this channel, we talk about how to integrate magic, alchemy, to become the creator, to step into the creator identity that is already ours, that we were already born with. Nothing else that we have to do to reconnect with that identity within us to have the life that we desire, one that is soul fulfilled, one that is fulfilling and complete in every way. On this channel, we believe you can have it all, whatever it means to you. All right, thank you to my new subscribers. I see you coming in. There's 27 of you here. In my head, there's 27 million of you. But the 27 of you that are here, I love it, okay? Because 27 of you said, I want to give my energy to this channel because there is something on this channel that I can integrate into my life to see positive change. And that means a lot, okay? It really does. So thank you so much for hitting that subscribe button. All right, so let's get in today's episode. Today, I'm going to talk about one thing, but I'm going to come at this one thing from several different angles. So if you are new here, I want to let you know that I use notes, because if I don't have notes, I start to ramble, kind of in the way that I'm doing right now. All right. So you will see me look down periodically. I'm looking at my notes because it's very important that I cover everything that is important for this particular topic for this moment. All right, so we're going to talk about how we all have untapped power, that even though we haven't tapped into it, does not mean that it is not exuding from us. I'll say that one more time. We all have untapped power, untapped genius that is exuding from us, whether or not we are reconnecting with it, whether or not we are acknowledging it, whether or not we have tapped into it. But before this video is over, you will have tapped into it. That is my promise for this video. All right. So I want you to think about a time. Most of us probably have had this happen. So say, for example, you are an individual that people tend to gravitate toward to tell you their problems without solicitation. Okay? I want you to think about a time where someone may have come to you, and these are people that we don't even know. All right? Maybe it was a coworker in the past. Maybe it was just, someone that we went to school with that for whatever reason, they gravitated toward you and maybe said something like, it's so easy to talk to you. I just feel comfortable around you. It's easy for me to tell you how I feel. It's easy for me to talk to you because you're a good listener. Raise your hand if you've had that happen, if someone has said that to you in the past. If that has happened to you, there is something exuding from you that is a part of your calling, that is a part of the many purposes that you came here to fulfill. And perhaps it's something that it may come so easy to you. You may hear that and that's just one example. You may have heard that so many times where you take it for granted. You're like, okay, I've heard that before. But there's magic in that. And that's what I want to talk about. So it is magnetizing to other people. And oftentimes the universe will use situations like that as a sign for you to say, okay, let me research this And when I say research, I'm not talking about looking outside of yourself. I'm talking about research as far as meditation and going within to say, okay, what is this that I'm exuding? What is this magnetism that I have? Because I don't understand it. Spirit, source, God, goddess, elevated guides, elevated angels, whatever term you want to use, it really does not matter. But if you pose that question, you get silent. You will get an answer and you will be guided. Okay? So, one of the reasons why we leave genius and magic that's in our DNA, that's in our cells, that's in our molecules, we leave it untapped because we're making comparisons. All right? So often we know that first let me say this. So soul aligned action is beyond logic and practicality. What is a practical step for one person may not be practical for you, and vice versa. Because it's about taking action based on what is aligned with your soul. So if you are, being complimented on a certain trait that you have, and perhaps you are being guided to take a certain action to tap into that power, to use that power more, the action that you're being guided to take does not look or appear or sound logical. So you start to compare yourself with other people. You start to say, well, that person, let's say that you've done all this meditation. Okay. And let's say that you've asked the question. Let's say that you have explored, okay, why do people keep coming up to me, telling me these things and complimenting me on this trait that I really don't think is a big deal? Well, maybe you have found that you're a speaker. You're a motivational speaker. You're an inspirational speaker, and you have received visions of yourself on stage, and perhaps the inspired action that you're being guided to take, it does not follow the action steps that you think a potential speaker or a speaker needs to take to get on stage. So you start comparing yourself to other speakers that you see, and you may be saying, well, that person didn't take this action, or I wonder if that person took the same action, so let me see if that's what they did, instead of trusting that the action step that you're being guided to take is the one for you. So that's one of the reasons why we leave genius and our magic untapped, is because we're too busy making comparisons. Okay, so that's one thing. And then we've got also taking aligned action. Something that is aligned for us to do is not going to always feel good. It's not. So just because something doesn't feel good doesn't mean that it's not aligned. All right, so taking aligned action is about knowing that this next move is the one that is needed for your transformation. What is a transformation? The transformation is for you to intentionally and consciously tap into that magic. Because think about it. You are still magnetized, or still inviting soul aligned experiences in, even without you being conscious of your magic. So if you are conscious of the magic, think about how your life would positively change if you're making intentional steps to tap in to your potential. Think about that. That's very powerful when you think about that. If you're already magnetizing, being a magnet for what is good for you, without intentionally tapping into that power that's already exuding from you, to wake up every morning and say, today I'm going to tap in purposely. Think about what can happen. All right. So the next thing I want to say about this is going back to aligned action. So taking aligned action is not always about what feels good. It's about you knowing. It's a knowing that that cannot be explained. Sometimes you can't even explain it to yourself, let alone other people. All right, forget about other people. It's side note. When you're taking aligned action, especially the action that doesn't make sense, it's not your business to try and make sense of it to other people. Forget about it. All right. Take that off your to-do list. So, the reason I say that aligned action is not rooted in what feels right or what you think you should do or should be doing, because aligned action is based on what your soul desires. All right. It's based on your soul fulfillment that's connected to your purpose. Your purpose is, because if you're new here, I do not believe, as a matter of fact, I know that there's not one person here on this earth that just has one purpose. All right. We have purposes. So I'm going to read this as I wrote it. So the reason aligned action is not rooted in what feels right or what you think you should do. It's because it's based on your soul desire. It's based on soul fulfillment, which is connected to the many purposes you came here to fulfill. It is not based. Soul aligned action is not based on ego. And it's also not based on what you are used to doing or status quo, because ego, what you're used to doing, status quo, is all a part of programming, which keeps us in a box. Okay, we know that. So this is often why during aligned action, you're in aligned action when the time seems to just stop. And you can't really explain why you're taking this action. You haven't really given your mind time to overanalyze. You had the hunch and you just moved. Okay? You just knew it was right. That's how you know aligned action is aligned action. You knew it was for you, even if it seemed, crazy to other people, which is what I just said. But I just wanted to drop that message to you. I hope that, and you know what? I almost forgot one more thing. See, this is why I have notes. So how do we purposefully, consciously tap into that power that is already exuding from us? Some of you that have been here, you already probably can sense what I'm going to say. Part of how we can tap into, reconnect to that magic, that power, is through creativity. Creativity. Why creativity? Creativity reminds us of our creative power, reminds us of our alchemy. It allows us to lean into the core of who we are. And it reminds us of our essence as a literal creator of our worlds first, and then the world out there. But we have to stand in our power to know that we have DNA that is filled with cosmic energy, that is filled with intelligence that goes beyond our ego. But we hold it in this body. Isn't that amazing? Isn't that amazing? So, when it comes to creativity, it goes beyond getting a pen and piece of paper. I always say this. It goes beyond getting a piece of paper and a pencil or a marker, crayon, and drawing a picture, although that's included. But being creative is allowing yourself to do something new. Just doing something new. I don't care if it's just walking by some water or going for a walk. If you've never taken the time to just go for a walk, if that's new for you, go for a walk. Take a different street to the store that you go to. Just doing something new, allowing yourself to experience something new, allowing yourself to experience a new restaurant, allowing yourself the next time you go to drink something or the next time you go to eat something, rather than woofing it down and shoving it in your mouth and just, oh, I got to hurry up and get done, with this food or with this drink because I got other things to do. Allowing yourself to be in the moment with whatever it is that you're eating or whatever it is that you're drinking, and allowing yourself to feel the substance going from your mouth down to your throat through your diaphragm. Okay, allowing yourself to experience those sensations. If you've never allowed yourself to do that, that's new. Just do something new. That's all. That's a part of creativity. That may sound like a very simple thing to do, and it should, because creativity isn't hard. It's not supposed to be hard. And what that does, it allows now you to get out of programming. So now you have started to train your body to say, oh, wait a minute, there's more. There's more. And so you'll find that you won't have to sit and think, okay, what can I do new? Ideas will just come to you. They'll flow to you very easily. Okay? And that is how being a creator in your life is supposed to be. It's not supposed to be suffering. It's not supposed to be struggle. We're supposed to be in flow every day. We just are. All right. So that's what I wanted to drop today for this message. Tap into your power. Reconnect, and realize that there's really nothing that you have to do because it's already there. Okay, allow yourself to be magnetized even more. Allow yourself to be seen. All right. Tap into your genius. Reconnect with it so that you can really live a soul-fulfilled life. So, cheers until next time. Oh, if you have any questions for me, leave them in the comments. Let me know what your takeaways are from this episode. And yeah, until next time, cheers.